Yo, was good. I know I'm a little early, but I figured got off a little early today, so I wanted to hit y'all with this real quick. Ask the question: are black indigenous people of this land they call the United States of America, are we the masters of our own destruction? Are we the masters of our own destruction? This question came to my head because of this whole Kamala thing, right? This whole Kamala thing, and this the question of whether or not Kamala is black, the debate about whether or not Kamala is black, and all this shit, it just reveals how stuck many of us are. And when I say many of us, I'm talking about black folks. All right, I'm speaking specifically about black folks because that's what I am. That's what I identify as. Now, there are a lot of different types of people that are stuck. There are white people that are stuck on stupid, because Kamala's black and they want to vote for Kamala because she's black, because they want to appear to be woke and all this other shit, and they want to appear to be down for the cause, when really it's just a fraternal. It's just paternalism, really. It's really just paternalism, because it's all about the white liberal is about paternalism, because they think they know what's best for us, and they think right now that Kamala is the best thing for black folks in the United States. But let's move on. I'm listening to a lot of people discussing Kamala Harris, and I'm talking about black people. I'm hearing a lot of arguments and debate amongst black people about Kamala Harris as a president. Now, y'all know me. I don't believe in a left-right paradigm line. I'm not a voter. I don't believe in government and politics, and why I believe in politics as they exist. I don't, I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in voting for people to rule over me and all this other shit. Y'all know that. And I really have to question, why is it so easy for black folks to be divided? Why are we so easily divided? Why are we so adversarial toward each other? You know what I'm saying? I don't I don't understand this, because as a people, we cannot function properly unless we stick together and come together on shit. And it's not come together to go against other people, but come together to protect ourselves, to enrich ourselves, to build for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Other groups of people do the same shit. They do it. The Jews, the Asians, all these different groups, they stick together, right? And I have to believe that we have a lot to do with why we're in the position we're in as black people. What's good, Sunshine and Dead Mike? How y'all doing? Because if we stuck together like we should, we would not be in the position we're in. And this has been known throughout history. Now, that does not excuse the atrocities that were done to us. It doesn't excuse it. I'm not dismissing it. I know that atrocities exist. I know that there have been empires across many thousands of years that have sought to conquer all these different lands and enslave the people. This has happened throughout history. And Now we are in the United States as black people, and we have this woman. We have this woman who is essentially racially ambiguous, and people are really wanting to vote for her simply because she's black. And if you don't want to vote for Kamala because you're black and she's black, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with black people who don't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. Even though we don't even know what her policies are. To this day, we still have not discovered what her platform is. What are you doing? Like, what are you gonna? What are you possibly going to do when you get in office? What possibly can you do, right? And I told y'all the reason I believe this is because it's just going to be a continuation of the Biden-Harris administration. Now it's just going to be the Harris-Walz administration. It's just a continuation. But she doesn't want to tell y'all that. They don't want to say, oh, we're just going to do the same shit we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke to us, we ain't going to fix it. That is what it is. But I was listening to somebody talk about it today, and they were shaming black people who did not want to vote for Kamala Harris for not voting for Kamala Harris because she's a black woman, and then shaming us for not actually believing that she feels she's black, right? That she's only black when it suits her because she needs to pander to black people and try to get the black vote, right? If you believe that, there's something wrong with you. But this person said that. He just went off. Oh, Kamala is black and this and that and third, and y'all some clowns, and just going off on people black folks who don't want to fuck with Kamala Harris. That feels like Kamala Harris ain't shit. Ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit, and never was shit. Right? With her white husband and all that type of shit. You shaming us. But then he goes on to say he has no idea what Kamala has done in politics. I don't know anything about what she voted for and against. I don't know what she did. And I mean that just pretty much is in a nutshell how all these people think. And so we are divided. Black folks are divided because some of us don't just want to just give this woman our support when she hasn't shown us that she's gonna give us any support. This is just an example of why we're stuck. We're supposed to go along to get along in order for us to be respected by people who feel like Kamala is the one. When at the end of the day, what we really should be focusing on is being self-sufficient. We should really be focused on working towards achieving a level of freedom that we can't get with a vote. Instead, that's all we're stuck on. That's all we're concerned about. What we're going to vote. What we're going to do on November 9th. Like your fate rests on what happened. Not November 9th. Whatever day that is. Whatever that Tuesday is in November. Your fate does not rest on how you vote in November. Right? The fate of the whole entire country. Not just black folks. Everybody in this, no, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how we keep being pushed through a cycle, right? We're being cycled through a system that does not benefit us at all. There is no benefit from government. And in fact, the government has shown time and again that it don't give a fuck about black people. They don't give a fuck about people in general, but they damn sure don't give a fuck about black people. Right? And that's been proven throughout history. But here we are, we just can't help ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to go for the okie doke. We know the system's fucked up, but we want to use the system to get justice. The system that is committing the injustices is not going against itself. Y'all do understand that, right? It's not gonna happen, especially for black folks, especially for reparations and all that. Listen, I believe, reparations are necessary. I believe that we're owed that. But if you try to use the system to get those reparations, you are going to be sadly mistaken. You're going to be molded like a motherfucker. You understand? And this is the problem. We put so much faith in a system that is clearly against us that we are destroying ourselves. You see, and it's not, again, I keep bringing up in the Constitution that I forgot which clause it is, but no, it's the preamble, I think. The very beginning of the Constitution, it talks about the consent of the governed. Consent of the governed. Those who are being governed must give their consent. That is very clear as day. How many people out here have this knowledge? How many people do you know have the knowledge that the Constitution says that we're only going to be governed if we give our consent. If we consent to be governed, then we'll be governed. Clearly, if we remove our consent, then we shall not be governed. How many people have this knowledge? How many people do you know that? I don't know very many myself. But even with that knowledge, are people going to remove their consent? Because they're so comfortable with what they feel the government provides for them. And as I keep saying, the government cannot provide anything that it does not take from someone else. It can't. So everything that you feel like the government can do for you or should do for you, you can do it for yourself. You can do it for your own community. You don't have to look to motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. How many of y'all been to Washington, D.C.? How many people been to Washington, D.C.? Have y'all gone there to see these people and see what they can actually do for you? Because if you're not in their face like these motherfucking goddamn special interest groups are, they're not going to hear you. They are not going to hear you. They have their own interest that they represent, and they represent the interest of all these special interest groups, the bankers, all that. And I keep talking about that because, it's very important to understand. Very important to understand who they really represent. Who they really represent. Who does Kamala really represent? She represents the Federal Reserve Bank. She represents the banking system. You understand what I'm saying? She represents the banking system. She doesn't represent you. And that's just the bottom line. They tell us that we're only 13 or 12 or 14% of the population, black folks in the United States. How do we know that for sure? How do we really know that? They're just telling us, and we're like, oh, okay, well that's it then. It's only 13%. How do you know that? Did you do the counting your goddamn self? No. The Census Bureau did that, right? Oh, we're supposed to trust the Census Bureau, right? That they do the census every 10 years. Every 10 years, they do the census. And, I know people who lie to the Census Bureau when they call and do all this and that. They lie. They tell them they're white, or they tell them they're another color. I know black folks that lie to the Census Bureau. They lie to them. I mean, we have to understand that, right? We got to understand it. And one thing that they tell you, including Nas, right? Nas came out and told you to make sure you report to the Census Bureau. If what I'm saying isn't true, that black folks are not reporting what they truly are to the Census Bureau, why would they have to get Nas to come out and tell us to do it? Y'all might not remember that. That was back in like the early 2000s. That was back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Nas did a commercial for the Census Bureau. I think it was 2010. Matter of fact, it was 2010. In 2010, Nas came out and said, "Get your black asses out there. When the Census Bureau calls you, and when they send you that letter, make sure you put the right information with your black ass." Nas came out and said that. Why do you think? Why didn't they get that motherfucker? Who's that white country rock band singer, the motherfucker with the shaggy looking motherfucker? One of them motherfuckers. How come they didn't get goddamn Toby Maguire to come out and tell his white brethren to report to the Census Bureau and be accurate? What other did they? Why not a white celebrity or a Hispanic celebrity? They tell y'all that we're the minority, but how do we even know that? How do we even know that for sure? So, in the point behind that is, if we're the minority, we ain't got no power. That's the idea, right? That's the idea they want to they want to. That is the narrative they want to send to you. That's what they want you to believe, that you're the minority. You ain't got no power. You have no influence. You have nothing. You have no community. There's this dude that Brother Sanchez. Now I didn't watch this live stream, but Brother Sanchez came out. I think y'all might know him. He's a YouTuber, and he said that black folks ain't got no culture in America. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Our culture, black American culture, is experienced all over the world. Black American culture is beloved. But black American culture is beloved. But because some celebrity said we ain't got no goddamn culture, cats like Brother Sanchez wants to sit up here and do a live stream talking about black folks ain't got no culture in America. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't watch the live stream, and I'm interested in seeing how he spun that. But we know that's not true, right? Black culture is American culture. Straight up and down. Black culture is American culture. You cannot watch a newscaster, you can't watch a celebrity that, talks and all that shit, white, black, candy stripe, whatever color. They use black slang and black vernacular. You know what I'm saying? The music, jazz, rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? That is black American culture. Jazz and rock and roll is black American culture. But they'll have you believe we have no identity out here in the United States. We have no identity. We're just floating around about. And many people would believe that because look at it. Look how divided we are. Look how many black groups there are, right? We can't even come together to form a cohesive group nationwide. We got to have 30,000 different groups. You know what I'm saying? We got to have the new Black Panther Party. We got to have this party. We got to have this group, that group, that group, this group. All these people have different agendas and different mission statements. You know what I'm saying? Some of them want you to vote for this and vote for that. Like all these different coalitions. The Nation of Islam, the Moors, right? All these different groups. All these different, all this different shit. Black American culture is extremely influential. Exactly, Mo. Exactly. Mo, Dr. Ketchup was good. Who knows if they even real? You believe statistics? Yeah, I believe in statistics, yes. Never trust the information given to you by your enemy. Exactly. Sunshine. Exactly. American culture is black culture. Facts. And we're not the masters of our own destruction, right? We're not the masters of it. But we damn sure help out a little bit, right? We damn sure help out a little bit. We do things that I don't understand. I don't understand why we do a lot of the things we do to each other to appease different groups of people, to show that, look, I'm not one of them Negroes. We always got to show we ain't one of them Negroes, or we're not one of the bad ones. Look at goddamn Brandon Tatum. Look at black conservative perspective, right? These individuals like that, they are the destruction. They help the masters of destruction of the black community, right? I know people probably thought I would say black people, black liberals and all. No. The problem is, okay, so we know that the Democratic Party, looking at it from the lens of a left-right paradigm believer, we know that the Democratic Party has been pissing on our head and telling us it was raining for almost 100 years, right? We know that. We know the Democratic Party ain't shit. And we also know that the Republican Party ain't shit. And what we really know is that it's really a uniparty. The left and the right, the Democrats and the Republicans, they are the same. They're one and the same. It's a uniparty. They'll show some shit on C-SPAN and CNN and these different little hearings and all that, where they're going in on each other. Oh, you this and you that, and they put on a good show. But when the cameras go off, man, they dap it up. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit, and they going about their way and go ahead to the lobbyists and get their money. So what I'm saying is, if you know the Democratic Party ain't shit, and you know the Republican Party ain't shit, why would you go to the Republican Party and try to pull people from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, knowing it's not going to get them anywhere? You're pulling them from one wing to another on the same bird. Two wings of the same bird. That's what you're doing. The Republican Party don't give a shit about black people. The Democratic Party don't give a shit about black people. They don't. The Independent Party don't give a shit about black people. The Green Party don't give a shit about black people. Motherfucking goddamn Cornel West. Y'all think Cornel West, he's running for president, what y'all think he's gonna do? What is Cornel West gonna do? Huh? What is Cornel West gonna do? He has to contend. Let's say he becomes president and he wants to do some shit for black people. He has to contend. He's going to be, he might run. I don't know what the fuck he's running as, but he's still going to have a Republican or Democratic House and a Republican or Democratic Senate. It's not going to switch. He doesn't become president automatically. He switches to what the fuck he wants it to be. You know what I'm saying? He still has to go through the legislative process to make any movement. Right? I mean, he can do shit like Joe Biden did and Joe Biden gave $12 million to the Holocaust survivors when he was in the Obama administration. There are ways, $12 million. He has to find, it's not going to be enough, right? $12 million. So what I'm saying is, even if you vote for a third party or a separate party from the left and right, the system is still the system, right? If you vote, because then y'all have to make any movement, you would have to vote in enough senators and Congress people that are of the same party of the third party that you want that president to be. And that's not gonna fucking happen. It's not gonna happen. Let's see. Asylum seekers taking all your money. Free houses, free food. You and the Black Panther sound like it anti-white. What? Alrighty then. No party is for indigenous people. All are for continuation of oppression. Facts. Okay, somebody's spamming. Lend Trump your vote in November. Why? No, see, that's the sunken cost fallacy. See, this guy, Gents fan, said lend Trump your vote in November. What does Black America have to lose? That's the sunken cost fallacy. Oh, you're already losing. You already are fucked. Vote for this guy and see if he'll take some inches out. Let's see if this guy, vote for the other guy. See if he'll use some KY jelly. Maybe he'll even use some Vaseline. Sunken cost fallacy. That's not a real argument. Witika, that's interesting. Anyway, if Kamala is going to give us all the money, are the billionaire family paying up? That's a great question. Why are you covering up those big muscles today? Alrighty then. Don't worry about that. SoCal 715, 22 Ronin. Oh, 22 Ronin's in the building? Where you at? What's good, 22 Ronin? The people have to go through this process from slave owners. Here's the thing. If you want reparations, you have to get it from the corporations that benefited, the private corporations that benefited directly from slavery that still exist today. I'll look like Method Man, okay? The top 1% pays 60 of all the taxes. So, wait, where you get that number from? See, y'all, I love when people just spew numbers that the government gives them. Oh, look, the government told me this. I'm going to believe it. Yeah, I know they trolling. I'm getting more and more trolls these days. It is what it is. Billionaires already pay their fair share. Who's arguing about billionaires paying their fair share? I didn't even bring that up. I don't care about, first of all, I don't believe in taxation. All right. Taxation is theft. The IRS is a criminal organization. So is the Federal Reserve. If you want to get my vote, which I'll never give, but I'll give you a nod. I'm like, okay, you talking some good shit, but let's see if you follow through when you get in that office. If you want me to give you a nod and any bit of respect and you running for president, abolish the IRS and abolish the Federal Reserve. That's a good start. Go back to the gold standard. That's going to be quite devastating to the economy initially, but it is what it is. You know, Haney, Duck, and Garcia, you sound retarded. Ryan Garcia can't even fight. Whatever. From the IRS data. So you got your data from the criminal organization known as the IRS. Right. The criminal organization, the IRS, you got your information from them. That's what's up. The thieves. The people that extort my paycheck and your paycheck and everybody else's paycheck every week or however often you get paid, you are going to run with what they told you. They're a criminal organization. Do I want social services? What is that? What is that? What is a social service? I'm not a socialist or a goddamn communist. That's for damn sure. Who will pay for? Oh my God, here we go. Who will pay for the road you drive on? I love you. I'm glad you asked that question. And who will light that road? All right. Ha! It's always that type of question. So, who already pays for the road? Who already pays to light the road? You, me, the tax cattle. We pay for the roads. We pay for the lights to go up. What are you talking about? The government don't pay for it. The government doesn't pay for shit. The government takes your money to pay for shit. That's an easy question. So the road I drive on, we pay for it. The government takes that money and they pay a private contractor to actually build the road. And they pay a private contractor to put up the street lights. They pay a private contractor. And then they hire public works workers to work for the county or the city to just change out lamps, change out light bulbs, maybe fill a few potholes. But we pay for that too. So we pay for the building of the roads, the lights, the hospitals, the schools. We pay for that. And we pay for them to hire people to maintain them. Yeah, we pay for that. And guess what? The government, they'll get the contractors to bid, and they'll get their little kickbacks. The contractors can upcharge because the government oversees the bidding process. But if we, the people, oversaw the bidding process, it would be a lot cheaper for us. So we have to pay the government to take the money that we get to pay the contractor. They have to, so the government employees that deal with having the road built, we have to pay their salary. So we're paying their salary. We're paying the building code inspector. We're paying all these people out of our pocket to make sure these roads get built by private contractors that we then pay. So we're paying a middleman to build roads. We have to pay them. We have to pay their employees, and we have to pay the contractor. We got to pay for the material. Where are they getting the material from? They're getting them from China. They're getting them from all these different places. We pay for every goddamn thing. Yeah, the government don't do that. We don't pay the government. Matter of fact, they extort us. They take our money and then they pay to have shit done. The government cannot operate on their own without extracting from other people. Yeah, but the government administers the operation. We don't need them to do that. We don't need them to do that. Because guess what? Private developers that buy land, let's say they buy land, it's all private. The developers, they have people that oversee the operations. Yeah. Only thing they're going to do is they're going to get the permits from the county. They're going to get the permits. They're going to get the inspector to come out and make sure it's built to code and all this other shit. But that's not something we need the government for. The people that come up with the building codes are engineers. They're engineers. They're civil engineers, right? They're civil engineers. They're electrical engineers. They are carpenter engineers. They are engineers. They go to school to learn how to do this shit. The government is not paying for their school unless they're in the military or something. They go in the military, they get the GI Bill. Guess who pays for that? Not the government, the taxpayer. So everything the government does everything that the government has other people do that have the knowledge, like the engineers, you'll have a city engineer and then you'll have private engineers that are actually designing the building. So the designers are private. The designers don't work for the government. but they are overseen. They do get permits from city engineers and shit like that. But even the county engineers and city engineers go to school that they pay for. So the salary that these engineers get that work for the government, we pay their salary because the government has to take money from us to do so. Do you see what I'm saying? That y'all are not understanding. I work in structured engineers every day. Oh yeah? So do I. So do I. I'm an electrician. As a matter of fact, I'm the quality control and quality assurance manager of my company. And guess what? I have to deal with engineers. I work with an engineer every day. The government didn't create him. The government did not create engineers out of osmosis. These people that have this knowledge, they go and learn it themselves. And the people that build it, they learn how to build it themselves. The government doesn't imbue you and anoint you with the knowledge and the know-how to build shit. That's all you. If you're a builder, the government didn't give you that ability. You had that. You had the aptitude to learn in the first place. I'm good with my hands. I'm good working with my hands. I'm a great mechanic. The government didn't imbue me with the knowledge to be a mechanic. No. I took what already natural aptitude I had. I went to school. I went to an apprenticeship to apply that. And guess what? The apprenticeship was not a government-run apprenticeship. Am I conservative? Yes. Most black people are conservative. Depends on what you're talking about, though. In reality, I'm an anarchist. See, conservative, y'all think it's a catch-all term. No, conservative is very nuanced what a conservative is and what a liberal is. People that call themselves liberals aren't even liberals, by the way. They're not classic liberals. There are no classic liberals anymore. Matter of fact, I would say I'm a classic liberal, except I don't believe in government. So that makes me an anarchist. But most people don't even know what a classic liberal is. Tabby does Reiki. Welcome, fellow anarchists. Yes, I'm an anarchist. So guess what? I am a disillusioned liberal who became an anarchist. Sorry, fuck yeah. Am I against the Civil Rights Bill of 1964? I'm against anything the government does. Why do we need the government to tell us that it's not right to discriminate against people? But you have the right to discriminate, and the government should not be able to do anything about it. If you're white and you open a company and you want to hire all white people, you have that right. You have a right to discriminate. Yes. As long as your beliefs and your discrimination does not affect me in a negative manner. As long as what you do doesn't hurt me. Likewise, if I'm a black business owner and I want to hire all black people, I have that right. It's my business. I own the business. Why would I get mad at a white man, Chick-fil-A? Let's say Chick-fil-A wanted to say, you know what? Fuck that. Get all these Negroes out here. I want to hire all white people. Okay, that's your right. And guess what? I ain't going to your business to buy your Chick-fil-A. Just like I have a right to open whatever food company or whatever restaurant I want to open. I want to hire all black people. That's my right. So fuck a discrimination law. But guess what? The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was not for black people. But guess what? These other bills, the Don't Say Jew bill, whatever the fuck, all this other shit that protects specific groups. We don't have any bill or any law that protects black people specifically. It doesn't. So on that level, fuck that. And on another level, no, I don't want the government to do anything. Every time the government does something, it costs us something. Every time a government employee writes on a piece of paper It costs us something. Every time they have to spend money to do something, they have to extract it from us. So why would I don't want them to do shit. Finding what the first sentence of the Constitution says. I don't know what that I don't know. What's up, Stacy? Stacy in the building. I ain't seen you in a minute. You have the right to remain silent. Okay. Spicy Wrench says what? LMAO. I know this shit ain't, this ain't what y'all used to. Yeah, I don't pander to the left or the right. I don't pander to anybody. If I place a piece of my copy paper on my arm, my skin does. That was funny. Do you know any trustworthy organizations by us for us to connect people? No, I don't, unfortunately. I'm trying to find one, but you don't know what they're doing until you know what they're doing. Do I know what the first sentence of the Constitution? Not right off the top of my head. My memory ain't what it used to be. What's the worst? Sunshine is indeed savage. So I'm just saying, y'all. What is the most destructive thing after all the destructive things that have happened to black people is believing that this system is going to do anything for you. The system that puts you in shackles. The system, I mean, everybody's in shackles, right? That's another thing that we need to be disillusioned about. Everyone is in shackles. If you're not part of the elite class that runs the government, if you're not part of the government and you're not even part of the government, you have to be at a certain level. We're all in shackles. We're all in chains. It's just some groups have heavier chains and stronger anchors. So this is what it is. But at the end of the day, I mean, look at who the ruling class is, right? The dominant culture. The dominant culture is always going to favor the proletariat that resembles it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're an elite, you're the elites. You're part of the elite class. You're the dominant culture. The people that look like you are going to benefit more than the people that don't look like you down in the dregs of society, what they consider the dregs, down in the proletariat class. If y'all don't know what a proletariat is, look it up. You have the elite and the proletariat. If you are part of the elite class, the dominant culture, the people that are going to benefit the most, if they do benefit, are going to be the people that look like them. Black folks do not look like the dominant culture. That's just how it works. That's how it works. This is what it is. That no one's going to tell you that. They're going to tell you it's all about sunshine and rainbows, kumbaya. No, if left up to our own devices, if black folks were in the dominant culture and we decided to rule over everybody, who's going to benefit the most from that dominant culture being in control? Black people. But they're still going to be enslaved. They're still going to be in chains. It's just that the other groups are going to be more disenfranchised and more in chains. They're going to have more chains around them. That's just the reality. That's why I don't believe in groups, black groups that say, oh, we need to take power from these people. And, oh, we need to get in power. We need to do this. No, because once you start talking that noise, I ain't trying to hear you, because I don't want black people to run nothing. I don't want white people to run nothing but what they should be running, which is their own fucking lives. If you are comfortable with saying, oh, I'm going to take over the government and I'm going to run the government myself and do, I'm looking at you sideways. If you're not saying, I want to break down this system, leave it broke, and let everyone rebuild how they want to rebuild, and live by the golden rule, do unto others as you would do on as you would want them to do unto you, and all that type of shit. If you're not talking about breaking down the system and leaving it broken and letting people do what the fuck they want to do, live their lives as they see fit, and not try to tax them, extort them, and make them do what you want them to do. Be a dictator, be a tyrant. I don't want black tyrants or white tyrants. So if you talking about breaking down the system, rebuilding it, and trying to be a ruler, I ain't fucking with you. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. If you talking about some old, yeah, I'm trying to do this, and no, if you're not talking about the real shit, which is everybody needs to be free, if you're not talking that true freedom shit, and you think it's not possible, and you think, oh well, people need a leader, you don't understand what a leader is. Leaders are not forced on people. Leaders are chosen. Leaders are hesitant. Leaders cultivate leadership in other people. Leaders want everybody to be leaders. True leaders want to foster leadership in other people. They don't want to be dictators and tyrants and do as I say and all. No, that's not a leader, right? So if you're not, leaders are chosen by those that choose to follow them. They're chosen. They're hesitant. They don't want to do it, but they have shown by example why, this guy has some great ideas. What he says makes sense. Oh, look what he did over there. That shit worked out. They demonstrate a level of efficiency that is admired by other people. So other people will gravitate toward them like, hey man, how should we do this? How should we do that? That's a leader, not do this and do that. Oh, pick that shit up and bring it up. No, that's not how that works. Trying to assert yourself to a group of people when no one solicited your fucking leadership. So if no one solicits your leadership, but you're trying to just bark at people and try to be aggressive, you think you're big, you think you might be tall and big and intimidating, so you're using that to get people to do what you want them to do, that's not leadership. Leaders don't want to be leaders. They don't. That's why they try to encourage leadership in other people. Like, look, man, look, you got to start making your own goddamn decisions. Stop looking at me to solve every problem. I can't do it. I can't solve every problem for everybody. So everybody needs to learn how to be problem solvers. That's how you know you have a true leader. That's how you know you have a true leader. You don't want to be a fucking leader. True leaders don't want to be leaders. You work under a black engineer? I don't understand what. Were you saying that to me? There was a time when my Irish ancestors were discriminated. Of course, yes. Exactly. But when the discrimination becomes destructive and devastating to your people, that's when it becomes a problem. If you're getting discriminated against because a British pub didn't want to hire you because you're Irish, I mean, it's their right, it's their business. So I would encourage you, okay, well, take your Irish ass over there and build your own pub. You know what I'm saying? But if the discrimination is, is devastating to the group of people, if it's harmful to them, if it's malicious, then you're not just getting into discrimination. Now you're getting into racism and all that type of shit. But discrimination in and of itself does not have to be a bad thing. Okay, you want to talk to me, Taylor? Okay. Those things didn't damage the black community. Things like Jim Crow, yeah. Well, it wasn't just those things. A lot of things damaged the black community. When I'm saying that, I asked, are we the masters of our own destruction? And I said we're not. But, we can't get in our own way. Yeah, all these things. Absolutely, I agree, Mo. All those things did contribute to, and it goes beyond, be way beyond and earlier than that. All right. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here, man. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Look, man, at the end of the day, man, freedom is the most important thing. The most important thing to achieve is actual, true, and unadulterated freedom. And that takes a lot of it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort. It can't just happen overnight. So what's up, Jay? Dakota Boggs was good. Racist, okay, for sure. So, I mean, I told you guys the other day, I said freedom is not free, it's uncomfortable, and it's dangerous. And all the steps it takes to achieve it are uncomfortable, dangerous, and it ain't free. To maintain it, it's uncomfortable, dangerous, and it ain't free. But neither is what we're going through right now. Government rulership is dangerous, it's uncomfortable. If you have the knowledge, if you are actually awoke, if you're actually woke, actual woke, then you understand that the system we're in right now is not comfortable, it's not free, and it's dangerous. So, I mean, those are your choices. Those are your real choices. But at least with freedom, you understand, hey, man, your fate is more in your hands when you are actually free. Your fate is not in somebody's hands way in Washington. Your fate is in your hands, and your community hands, and your family's hands. So it's a little bit easier to manage. Now you just got to worry about protecting what's yours. Your land, your food, your resources, your resources within the area of influence that you have. Right? That's what you got to do. I appreciate that, Sunshine. Yes, hit the like button, please. I support people not dying. Yep, that's the same thing Trump said. KC and Bao tonight would do you like football. Oh. That's what's up, y'all. I appreciate that. Y'all stay up, man. Remember, man. Remember what I'm talking about. I think it was John D. Rockefeller said, every vote is a vote for us. Talking about the bankers. Every vote is a vote for us. So at the end of the day, they don't care who you vote for. They don't care who gets elected. It's a vote for them. They got elected. They're getting elected. You understand what I'm saying? So just remember that when you guys get shamed in the voting and they try to shame you in the voting, vote or not vote. I'm not telling anybody to vote or not vote. I'm not here for that. I'm telling you what voting is to me. Voting is submission. Voting is submitting to the system, submitting to whatever they have in store for you, whether you win or lose. So if your favorite guy don't win and you voted, can y'all hear me? I know sometimes shit. All right. Peace out, guys. Peace.